couch, dogs, me, guitar lessons. Hey there, LickNRiffers, how are you doing? Welcome to the third and final installment in the 3-video lesson mini-series about harmonics. In the first video lesson, we discussed everything there is to discuss about the basics, the natural harmonics, including how to turn these into really cool solos using different patterns like chord outlines and pentatonic type scales and such. It's really cool. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. In the second lesson, we covered everything there is to cover about the artificial harmonics, all the techniques like soloing with it. Okay, or the pentaharmonic technique, mostly for guitar, for electric guitars, but also you can do it on an acoustic if you really want to. I can't see why, but you need to know the technique. So we also covered that, and we finished with adding harmonics to chords. Okay, like all sorts of simple techniques to add harmonics to chords. So in this video lesson, the third and final installment of the mini-series, I'm going to teach you the coolest thing you can play on a clean guitar. By clean guitar, I mean a guitar without any digital or electronic effects on. A clean guitar, just using the strings and the sound that the guitar produces. Now, it's called the Waterfall effect, or the Cascading Harmonics effect, or Harp Harmonics. I'm pretty sure there are more names that I don't know because it doesn't really have a name. Everybody calls it by a different name, but it's the coolest thing you can play, and it's jaw-dropping when it's done correctly. I'm gonna try and show you a couple of examples before we start, but you have to really be fluent in artificial harmonics in order to play it. So if you haven't watched the second lesson in the series, I strongly suggest you do. Artificial harmonics, the Cascading Waterfall effect, or Harp Harmonics, sounds something like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, stuff like that, or okay, stuff like that. It all depends on the chords here, actually. If you play it with normal chords, I mean normal minor or major chords, it doesn't really sound that good because you have repeating notes. So you have to play specially designated chords for this technique to work. But first you have to learn the techniques. So how do you do it? The idea here is to pluck a high string and then play a harmonic on a lower string. So basically you get something like this. Harmonic, higher string, harmonic, higher string. Okay, usually 2 strings away, but that's not a hard rule. You can play any set of 2 strings that you want to create different landscapes and effects. Now that's the very basic technique. Now you have to be really fluent in outlining chords using harmonics. For example, 1 on the 2nd string, 3 on the 4th. You get this beautiful chord. So you have to know how to outline it over here and really imagine you playing it over here, okay, instead of here. So once you can really do that, you can try and add the high notes. So you add the high notes with your pinky or your 3rd finger, whichever more comfortable for you, and you play the harmonic using your extended forefinger and plucking it with the thumb, or by holding a pick between your thumb and your middle finger and playing it with that. So if you're more fluent with a pick, use a pick. If not, use your thumb. So like this. Okay, I'm less fluent with the pick, so I'll use my thumb. Again, bass note, for example, it can be open, it can be harmonized, overtoned, I mean, artificially harmonized. And then, let's say, for example, the third string, then the fourth harmonized, then the second string, okay, plucked, no harmonic. Then third string harmonized, then the first string not harmonized. You get the deal. So, okay. Let's take, for example, a sus2. That's a bit easier. So you have 2 and 2 on strings 3 and 4. The rest are open. So, okay, but here you see what I mean by duplicated notes. This note here, the open E string, is harmonized by an E note on the D string. So its harmonic would be the same as the open E string. So you don't want that. You want a different effect. You want as many different notes as possible inside your chord. That's why as many embellishments as you can stack up on the chord would make for a better cascading harp waterfall effect. For example, let's take this. You just bar the fret, let's say on 5, okay, okay, go, it's fine, it's fine. Suddenly he's grown camera shy. So let's say we do it with the 5th fret. It will actually sound good. Okay, so again, 6th string with a harmonic, 4th without, or 3rd. Okay, and then we just go down. 5 and 3, 4 and 2, 3 and 1. Okay, so again, you can also add 7 on the E string, and then it will be 2 frets up over here. So, and you get a 9th chord. And you can also pull it off after playing it. And you can really play with that. You can also pull it off on the 2nd string and see how it sounds. Sounds a bit Indian. And you can pull it off. You can try to create different sequences. Again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I want you to find your own preferences and preferred techniques in how to play this. I want to teach you the technique itself. For example, really dirty chords will tend to sound better when you use this technique. But basically, before we touch different chords, this is basically the entire technique. You just harmonize a bass note, play a higher string, okay? It might be the next string, it might be 2 strings away, 3 strings away, a pedal note, meaning just the E string, just the B string. As long as you play the harmonics on the bass notes, you're playing cascading harmonics. As long as you're arpeggiating the bass notes, like this. Okay? As long as you're doing that and adding the high notes using your pinky or your 3rd finger, you're playing the effect. It's a lot easier than you thought it would be, right? Okay, for example, the chords I used in the beginning are D and A, but instead of a full D chord, I play the open 3rd string and then I get this. Now, why is that? Because this note is an A chord and I already have the A note in it, and when I play the harmonic, I get this note. So if I play the open G string, I get an extra note. See? No clash, no duplication. Actually, there is a duplication. The 3 on the second string is the open D string, so you can add 3 if you want, and then you get this. This is a really interesting chord. 3 and 3 on strings 2 and 4, and you get this. Why am I using a pick? Okay. For example, you can also use 2 on the E string. Or 1. No, duplication. Okay. And let's try something completely different. Let's try a diminished chord. A diminished chord might work. I picture it over here. I just imagine this shape over here, 12 frets up. Okay, so. Okay, got it? Interesting. Let's take it down a notch. See, the more notes you have inside the chord, the more different notes, the more this effect comes to life. So just try the strangest combinations you can think of. Something like, let's say, this. No duplication that I can hear, so let's see. See? You can just go down and up, down and up, down and up. I mean, physically, or up and down, up and down, up and down, musically. You don't have to cover the whole neck. Let's try this again, this time on 4. See? And the more you change, let's play 3 frets away. We have a strange note over here. See, we have no clash. Let's try it over here. Let's add this. Actually, we already played this chord over here. So let's try this. It's another... Actually, there is a clash right now, so let's choose a different one and then we'll finish this lesson. I just want to show you the options you have over here. Jazz chords, by the way, work really, really well here. Let's just choose a really nice one. Let's play 13th chord. See, you don't have to play the arpeggios all the time. You can play melodies. And then transform it to, let's say, a minor variation over here, because it's full. It's really a rich chord. Even though it has a duplication, there's an E note over there, but you can always do it here. So. Then it becomes really weird. I wanted a nicely textured chord, a really calm and pleasant chord, not a disturbing chord. So just try it out and see what you can get from it. Try really, really crazy things like this and see how you can do it, even though it's a jump. Sounds like something out of a horror movie, a 1940s horror movie, but still. Anyway, that's the technique. Cascading harmonics / waterfall effect / harp harmonics. Now you know how to pull it off. Go drop some jaws. I'll see you the next lesson. If you haven't subscribed to LickNRiff yet, what are you waiting for? Click subscribe and learn guitar for free. I'll see you the next lesson, and I hope you enjoyed this mini-series. Leave a comment below, and we'll learn more in just a little while. I'll let you go practice. Bye for now.